So this fish here is a Chaetodon eureka, or thread-fin butterfly. As with all of the butterflies, they're relatively hard to keep. Whenever I see these fish in the wild, they're always in pairs. I rarely ever see them just swimming around on their own. So if I was going to buy them, I'd definitely buy them as a pair. Now, feeding these things can be a problem, though eurekas are one of the better of the butterflies. These ones in front, the clenais, they're the best of the butterflies. They're very easy to feed, whereas a lot of the butterflies are quite specialist feeders, so they can actually be quite difficult to keep. I do find that it helps introducing them at a slightly lower salinity, and then I do raise it as the fish are well established. I'd want to start feeding this guy probably a bit of live brine shrimp when I first put him in, just to get him feeding. Once he's feeding that well, I'd want to develop him onto frozen brine shrimp, also mysis shrimp. Then preferably, if he's a good one and he's feeding well, and particularly if he's following the habits of the other fish in the tank, I'd be mixing some spectrum in with the brine shrimp so it all smells the same, and try and get him to start feeding on New Life spectrum. Because once he gets the spectrum, then I know he's getting all the right vitamins and all the rest of it. But definitely not a fish for beginners. It is one of the easier of the butterflies, but I don't think butterflies are the easiest fish to keep. They love being in a coral reef tank, but they often do nip at a lot of your corals. So if you do put him in a coral reef tank, the corals may very well suffer. So you need to do that at your own risk. Things like your leathers and that tend to be okay, but I wouldn't put any promises on anything. Just absolutely spectacular fish. As I said, best kept in a pair. Best kept in a decent sized tank. Do tend to fret a little bit. As you can see, when I first put the camera up towards the glass, he did freak out for a minute.
Hey Paul, did you just sell all the barramundi?
Beautiful fish though. Wouldn't encourage them for beginners, but well worth the risk.